the atrophy that's set in my body because of staying in bed for 3 weeks and not knowing what they would do to myself. And then learning from the doctors that in spite of all of that, I was healthy. And as I shared these things and we looked at some other things that day on last week, the Lord revealed to me that I needed to share today to help us better understand Him. And so I called Mom and let her know that I'll have her minister the third Sunday in next month, though they will minister the first Sunday as scheduled. But I need to share this now. There is a lot of peace and grace that's multiplied in our lives because we know God our Father and we know Jesus our Lord. As Peter said, grace and peace are multiplied as we learn about them and know more about them. And even my wife shared some things last week that she hadn't shared before to me, with me. And so it was good to see those things, but as I was saying, we need to communicate more readily, some of us, and especially my loving wife. There's some things that God has shared, some things she's seen that she told me, and she should have told me. But it came out eventually anyhow, because God has a way of bringing the truth out in time. We can rejoice in that truth, and man, we can encourage one another. One benefit I got from going to the military those years I was there, I learned some principles about warfare that still are true when it comes to spiritual warfare. Being an infantryman, an infantryman, in particular, airborne platoon leader, they taught us 3 basic things about fighting, about warfare. And the teacher said to be an effective soldier, you got to be able to shoot, move, and communicate. If the enemy can cut off one of those 3 things, then he hinders our ability to fight. In particular, communication. Countries, even today, they spy on one another and they try to hinder communication between the leaders and the forces they have working for them in an effort to try to hinder their ability to fight. Back in World War II, I remember, I saw this movie about these, they call them code talkers. They were, I forget which tribe of Indians, I want to say Navajo. Thank you, Billy. And so they knew that the only people that could speak Navajo were the Indians in America, the Native Americans in America. And so, by the grace of God, or the influence of God, someone decided to have the Navajo Indians transmit the secrets that needed to be transmitted so the enemy could not decipher or decode what was being said and thereby know our plans. And they're just now starting to get, back then when they made this movie, some credit for the things they did. Because if you can talk in a language that the enemy can't decipher, he or she's in bad shape for us trying to figure out your plans. That's one good thing about speaking to God in tongues. The enemy don't know what we're saying. You don't know what we're saying. That's between us and God. And so anyhow, but we should be able to shoot, move, and communicate. And the people to whom you're speaking understand what you're saying, which is why we had certain phrases we use and certain phrases we would not use. I took all this serious because my job at that time that I wanted to make a career in was in the military, being an airborne platoon leader. So I exerted all my mind and my strength and my ability to learning my craft, as basketball, football players talk about, knowing my craft. And so I learned the basics. And we took this course called radio telephone procedure. I learned if I initiate the call to, David initiates the call to me, and we're talking back and forth. When I got through talking, I would say over. Let him know I'm through talking now, he'll return. And he'd say some things to me, and he'd say over. And when he got to me, if I said all I needed to say, I'd say over. But David would be the one that would say out, because he started the conversation. But I wouldn't say over and out. That's improper radio telephone procedure. That's not that bad, but it's improper. But then more so, if I misunderstood what he said, what would I say? You've heard me say it time and time again, it's a habit. It's a good habit, but it's a military habit. What are you to say?
Say again.
Say again. Say again. I didn't say repeat it, because that's a whole different animal if I say repeat. But I would say again. You know, I think he can keep up with it if I walk a little bit. That kind of, I'm trying to do two things at one time. I got it pretty much under control now, but I'm still working on it. But I would say again, because we were told if you say repeat, that means the fire you dropped on the enemy, or the bombs you drop some more bombs, or shoot some more in this area, artillery shells. That's what that means. Send in more artillery shells. So when you say repeat, that has one meaning. Send some more firepower in because we need your help. But if you misunderstood somebody, you say again. And so it became habit because I understood the gravity of what that meant, and it became a part of me that I didn't really need to unlearn, so I still say again. And so as I reasoned last week, as I said, and thought about it, God revealed to me that some of us don't really understand him like we should. And so he said, share my testimony again and share some scripture to make plain where I was and what he would and would not do on that basis of what scripture says. So turn with me to Jeremiah 9. I'll start there. And if you get a mic ready, I want Arminder to share some things as well. So we'll kind of do what Rachel said that Chris and his wife will do. We'll tag team a little bit. I don't normally do this, but she shared some things last week. And even after we left here, she said some more things that she and I talked that you all need to hear, but it's better coming from her than me. So anyhow, Jeremiah 9, and we're going to look at verse 23, 24. Scripture says, are you with me? Who doesn't say that, but are you with me? Okay. Thus said the Lord. Thus said Yahweh. Thus said the Eternal. Thus saith the self-existent one, the Eternal. Let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. And he's not referring to the wisdom of God, or God's wisdom. He's talking about wisdom that man has apart from God. We do glory in God's wisdom. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him or her that glorieth glory in this, boast in this, in a good way. Celebrate this. That he understandeth and knoweth me. Very important. That I am the Lord, the self-existent, the eternal, Yahweh, which exercise bestows, appoints, does or makes, and some other definitions too, but does, appoints, works even, loving kindness, judgment or justice, whether it's justice to punish the wrongdoer, or whether it's justice to reward the good doers, or those that do good. Justice, and righteousness, that is right in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. So he wants us to rejoice or glory and boast and celebrate the fact that we understand and know him. That he's the eternal. He's the self-existent. He's Yahweh. He's the creator which exercises loving kindness, justice, and righteousness in the earth. That's what he delights in. Us knowing, understanding him. You know, we rejoice in it too. It's a joy to know that my wife knows me. And if she doesn't know me, then I do those things that are necessary for her to know me, because even a child knows what he does. So I do things to show her my love, to cause her to know me. She does those things that causes me to know her. Or those things we do amongst ourselves, because you're supposed to know them that labor among you. I want you to know me as your senior pastor. Know Dave, know Ken Wayne, and Dave, and Little Dave, and Dump, and Jason. All of us that work together want you all to know us. Know us. And so in regard to knowing God, understanding and knowing him. And after I was thinking about that, my mind went to faith comes by hearing. Word hearing means understanding. So faith comes by understanding, and understanding comes by the word from God or about God. About God. So Raphael said, the things I talk about that God has done for me, not just a testimony about what God has done for me, but it also shows that God is faithful. Hello, somebody. Yeah. God is demonstrating I'm faithful. Yeah. I'm faithful. So anyhow, and once we know that, then we can have faith in God. But you got to understand it. You don't understand nobody, you don't trust him. You can't trust nobody you don't understand. So I got to watch so-and-so a little while longer. Get to know him, then I can trust him. And then once you get to know him, you might find you can't trust him. But God ain't that way. He said, check me out. I ain't going there. I thought about this song we used to hear back in the 60s. Check out your back. Better him. But amazing how some things come up. But then again, coming from the Holy Spirit is fine. But God wants us to check out his mind. And when we check out his mind and know what his mind is like from his word, then he wants us to have that mind also. Let this mind that was in Christ Jesus also be in you. But unless you check out his mind, you won't know what kind of mind he had. I see now where that came up, Dave. But I didn't quench it, so thank God for that. You know, but sometimes he uses those songs we used to hear Ken and got some truth in it, to get a point across. But anyhow, so with what I went through back in January, just to rehash what I said last week. Matter of fact, for this one, to where I'm gonna call it R&R, rest and recovery, or better yet, is I think the military call R&R, rest and relaxation. And when you go overseas and fight, or go away and fight, after so many days or weeks of fighting, they put you on R&R. You go on R&R. They will go wherever and just enjoy life and play and party, and then go back to warfare. And we need to have some R&R when it comes to this warfare way in too. And so God will say, Jesus will say, come aside and rest for a while. You all hadn't taken time to eat. So, as you know, back in January, I hadn't taken time to rest like I should. And because of what I felt like, because of what I felt like, that plus the vision I had that wasn't fully interpreted before I made the phone call to Ken Wayne. I just knew I was about to leave this body. I also knew I had a choice. But, you know, seeing the image I thought was Jesus with his arms open, I'm going, I ain't going home now. Boy, I tell you what, they can handle it. I'm going home now. And so I had peace. When I called you, was I in a panic, or was I calm and talking as best I could because my brain was so tired. I was having to really work to say words, Erica. And I found out when I read an article again this past few days, I got reminded that one of the signs of sleep deprivation is you forget words. And as Arminder said, when I was talking to the doctors, I was skipping words. And they kept asking me. Every time I met a doctor, he wanted to know. I got to reach deep and get the energy to try to tell what was going on. And it was taxing me, draining me really, because I was tired. I needed to rest. And so I said what I could say and get it across. And I was even forgetting the order of some things, like what had happened. Because I had to repeat the same testimony over what happened. But I really was ready to go. Not because I was depressed, not because I was down again. It's just that if you can come home or go home to where Jesus is and other people are, that's a good thing. If you go, and it's your choice, and you know what's over there, you understand what's over there, because when Granddaddy said, I'm going home tomorrow at 10:30, Granddaddy was happy. But Granddaddy was about 90 years old, 80 something, whatever it was, I don't know. He was old, and I ain't that old, but I was still, because of the way I felt, hey, I can just go on home now. Because I believed I had that choice. And I do to a certain degree. They call it a pregnant pause. To a certain degree, I do. To another degree, I don't. Now, what degree do I don't? Do I not? Y'all be nice. Be nice. I'm trying. See, sometimes my communication skills get lacking. English was not my best subject. Y'all probably know that. But I know how to get the point across. Okay. So to what degree do I not have that choice? Let me see your hand. You got the mic ready? Deborah got her hand up. She knows some stuff. Terry got his hand up too. We're going to take a moment to keep this. I want to see how y'all thinking. See how y'all think. See, Dave like this. See, Dave is a teacher. He be asking them questions. Okay, Deborah, what you got?
Based on what I understand, everybody born has a purpose. Mm-hmm. And if that purpose is not fulfilled, but you're doing still what you should be, I believe that it can be cut short when you get into disobedience, but that's not you. Mm-hmm. But the purpose wasn't fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good, sister. That's real good. That's what you want to say too, Terrell? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's very good. That's the crux of it. That's the crux of it. My heart is to please my Father. Been my heart for the last 44 years. God, yeah. I think that's right. 74 to now. You math people take me with that, but I think that's 44 years. When he caused me to see myself as I was before I decided to set the right priorities, as Heidi pointed out. As he told me, I've done this for you, done this for you, done that for you, and saved your life these times. And he said, I don't deserve how you treat me. Broke my heart. That's that brokenness good. I saw myself, didn't like what I saw, dropped my head, and it came from my heart. From this day forth, I'll obey you. My life changed. And I've known over the years that God's keeping me. Hello, somebody. The song that Sister Lovely sings. God's keeping me. He's keeping me. He's keeping me. Yeah. He's keeping me. God showed me a force field when I first became pastor. I'm standing facing the baptismal. I see a cobra come to him. All of a sudden he stops and goes up an invisible wall. I'm looking as he goes across above me on an invisible ceiling. He comes down on another visible wall and goes out the front door, and I know that's an invisible shield of some sort. The word of God does say, "Thou, Lord, art a shield for me." God will let me see, I am your shield. I'm keeping you. Rest in that. So I did. But because of who I am in lack of sleep and not yet understanding that vision I had, I thought I could leave. I believed I could leave. And as David asked me, what about you leaving? I said, well, that's a great question. Because God does say, according to your faith, it'll be unto you. But he was talking to somebody, first of all, who was sick or needing deliverance. And because of their faith, they got deliverance. On my hand, I think I'm sick and ready to die. I'm ready to go home. And Auntie, who came to mind, she was 93. She made herself sick. She just quit eating. So she could go home. Because she didn't want to stay here no longer. And she finally got her done. After a few months of not eating, she finally left their body. Well, I was eating. I just still thought I could leave my body. And so anyhow, I'm talking like this, and Ken and Dave and Laurie and Karen come to get me. We go to the hospital and they run test after test after test. And long story short, 2 months later, I got the last report. A month later, I got the last report. You're healthy. You're healthy. But I had talked to God about whatever was there. If I wasn't healthy after I got some sleep, after they gave me melatonin, I got 7 hours sleep. I woke up talking to him in tongues. And I talked to him in tongues under a heavy anointing. I forgot about that part. That anointing was because the Holy Ghost was taking hold with me against where I was in sleep deprivation. And after my brain got enough rest, then he prompted me, and I began to talk to God for a solid half hour in tongues, letting him know, I'm sorry, I didn't heed your warning about getting sleep. I'm going to do better. And I know whatever it is making wrong in my body, because I thought I was sick. You can heal me because you're the creator. You spoke words. And that is in existence now came into existence. And thus came into existence because you spoke the words back when you spoke those words. So I know you can speak the words now, and that thus my body will change to be whatever I need to be in order to be healthy. And I rejoiced in that as I talked to him. So in essence, I repented. That morning, I woke up talking in tongues. Really, for the most part, I was in a position of repentance, but I just believed God couldn't forgive me. The heart I had was I was very grieved because I had not obeyed him. But I equated my position, this is what I saw past week, and even David and I talked about it a little bit. I equated my position with that of Saul, who had rejected God's word, the word about who to kill and who not to kill and so forth. And then because of that, God said, I've rejected you because you rejected my word. And because of Saul's evil heart in pursuing David to kill him and the other things he did too, he died. And more so, Moses. Moses didn't obey God to hit the rock. That's why I paused. He didn't obey God to hit the rock one time. He hit the rock 2 times. The second time he hit the rock, God said, speak to the rock. He hit the rock. Thank y'all for recalling that. You get a chance to see y'all know that scripture. That's good. And the teachers like to hear that, don't they? Amen. So he should have spoken to the rock the second time, but he hit the rock. God trying to get point across. The rock, Jesus will only be hit one time, crucified one time. For it is appointed unto men once to die. But after that, raising from the dead, you speak to the rock to give water. Moses missed it. So he said, because you refuse to sanctify me before the people, you coming home. I'll let you see the land, but you ain't going in it. I thought that pertained to me too. Until I got to meditating, the Holy Spirit unraveled all that. That's the old covenant, Walter. It's a new covenant. Oh, thank Thank you, Jesus. That's why we got this covenant, new covenant versus old covenant. He got it all straightened out. But the point is this, though. In regard to my believing that I could go on home now, I fully believed I could. God knew different. He wasn't the only one. His mother knew different too, because they know God. And in this case, Arminder last week, she pointed out that she wouldn't listen to me talking about going home because she wasn't going nowhere. Now she didn't explain why, but later on I asked her, so why'd you know I wasn't going nowhere? And that's your cue to come on up now. I'll let you tell it. That's what I said before I started this message. I didn't say you're gonna sit there and talk. I said we're gonna tag team this thing. So well, not literally, but thank you. So why is it, tell them why is it you knew I was not going anywhere?
Well, first,
Are you on?
yes. I'm on.
Okay.
The first thing, the prophecies kept running through my head.
Why were they running through your head, though?
Huh?
Why were they running through your head? The prophecies.
Because I knew the prophecies had not been fulfilled.
But why were they running through your head, though? Why were you looking at the prophecies now, though?
Because of what you were saying.
Okay, I say it this way. Did you remember on your own, or did the Holy Ghost remind you?
The Holy Ghost reminded me.
Okay.
I know that now.
Yeah, okay.
I just knew that.
I'm just trying to see. Some things we recall on our own. Other things he reminds us. Okay, all right.
Yeah, he reminded me because it just was going through my head. And I knew that the prophecies that had been spoken for years over Walter and myself had not been fulfilled.
Which goes back to what Deborah said, as well as Terrell was going to say.
Turn the tape off.
Why you turn the tape off?
And you had to take me on my cruise that you promised me.
That's the whole thing.
She's talking about going to Hawaii. What was she talking about? See, we're going to cruise next year because of Kenny Wayne and Laura and Karen, not Karen, but Angel and Terrell, but you know.
It's everybody, right?
Everybody? Okay,
It's
we'll do it. Everybody, you know. But that's to Aruba, which is one of the places. I gotta go to Aruba. Okay, we're going to Aruba, you know. You decide. But she still wants to go to Hawaii. I said, we're going, but we'll go when the time comes. So you remember, okay, I understand.
Well, that shame on my part. That was one of the things I was thinking about.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's a good thing.
God is involved in us giving things to enjoy. And that's one of those things He gives us to enjoy.
But I knew that all of those prophecies that had gone for years and years, that we listened to, and I listened to every now and then, often, all of it had not been fulfilled. We've seen some of it, but all of it. And I just knew God He told us to fight with those. When He gave those prophecies, Pharaoh for one said, make sure you write it down. Make sure, how did he say it? I want you to record this because you're going to need these.
Yeah. Been recorded.
And as things were happening, that kept coming to mind.
I know, why did you tell me though?
Why didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think about it. All right. I'll go back to it a little bit. You take care of this. I got it. But see, it's one thing to remember what God said. It's another thing to talk to each other. Like somebody said, just talk to me. Talk to me. That's my Sinbad invitation. I know left cards go wrong. So, anyhow, talk to me. Especially when the person is believing contrary to truth. Even though what I'm believing is what I want, as Deborah said, and she said, you don't want to let me come home. Matter of fact, Jesus was laughing about it. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. And the thing about it is this though. Now this is the part where it gets him annoying him. That all what she said is true. That's good. But in knowing God, now the question is, would God have let me? No, He wouldn't have. Why? Because He's the one that purposed for me to do whatever, as the prophets say, and as she pointed out. And to give you what he's done in the past to prove my point, I remind you when I first began to preach back in the early 70s, and some people rejected the words that I was giving them, I got grieved. And God let me grieve, but for only 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks. And I asked, what did God say? And everybody asked questions said, he told you, go find somebody that wants it, which he did. But I said, that's not the first thing he said. The first thing he said was, how long are you going to grieve over those who rejected my word? Then he said, go find somebody that wants it. But he purposely let me grieve for only 2 weeks. Then he asked me, which let me know, you don't grieve over folk that rejected my word. And I'm asking me how long, because what you're doing is not good for you, nobody else. You see. And so knowing God would not let his child, he exercises loving kindness, justice, and righteousness. It wouldn't be right for him to let me be in whatever longer than what his wisdom and right would dictate I experience. I chose my words very, very carefully. It's what's right. And as I meditated, God says, like a father who has a son who's in 4 feet of water, we'll say. And he's struggling to stay on top of the water, and his feet not go down. He not go down because he thinks he's going to drown. But the father knows it's only 4 feet of water. And let's say he's from me to her from him, so he could reach and grab me if necessary. But he's standing there and he's smiling because that's my son. And he don't realize he's in 4 feet of water. And so he's smiling and gets up, son, what do you tell me? Just stand up. Just stand up. Then I stand up and now I'm laughing. Because I thought I was going to drown and I'm only in 4 feet of water. Although you can drown in 2 feet of water if you hit that person right. But he knows he will reach and grab me if necessary. The same thing he did with Peter. When Peter got in fear, I wasn't in fear about going home. I was ready to go home. And got in fear, but getting this thing, said, Lord, save me. He reached right down and grabbed him and said, oh, thou little faith, wherefore did you doubt? Begin to teach, you see. So he would have let me only be where I was for a few more days, for starters. Knowing where my body was and knowing what I needed, I don't know how many more days, but it had been according to his wisdom, you see. And then, in regard to the melatonin that I needed to get sleep, what he had said was as he'd done before. Read it. You didn't read it. I told you last year, Walt, start being thorough. You didn't read that thorough. Read it again. When I got home to Mama's house, I read it again. And then I saw, well, I see you skimmed through that, Walt. That speed reading always cracked out to be. You read it slowly, you see melatonin, what you need. That got me past the lack of sleep. Well, the atrophy and the inflammation in my body was a different element. The atrophy, he didn't do like he did then, I believe, which was to show me the link, because that's how I found out it was atrophy. Because I told Laura on the phone, I'm watching my legs get smaller sitting in the bed. Every day I saw them getting smaller and smaller. Then what that was? So maybe not drinking enough water, because your body is 7% water, so start drinking water. And the more water you drink, the more water you have to drink, because it just goes in and comes right back out. You see? Because your body knows how much water it can retain. See, I didn't know, but God led me to look for the link about exercise in bed. And the link I found says, you're in bed more than 3 days, your body starts to atrophy. But you reverse it by exercise. I jumped right back to bed, went in the front room, and stayed out that bed as I was going to sleep. But now the inflammation, that was a different story. With the inflammation, if I slow down, I said, now knowing him, with what I found out about what was going on, because I was in pain, my legs hurt to walk, sweats were coming up here and there, my body, and I put ice on it, would go right down, and then some other sweat would come up, so I bump my head something just a little bit, sweat will come up, because the inflammation in my body that I had to deal with. And all the doctors said, you got a lot of inflammation. Well, I believe eventually he said, go to the doctor, like he did back in '84. When I came home from work, where I couldn't read without shaking, I sit at my table, I got to build these patterns for these chairs, If the sewers can't lay out the material to sew the seats, so my job is to study the blueprint and then get the patterns made. So I'm studying the blueprint, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I start shaking. What is this? So I get up and I walk off, because I can't walk too far now. I walk off, I come back, because I stop shaking, I sit down, and I start reading again and start shaking again. Oh, what is this? So I get up and walk off again. Stop shaking, I come back and start reading and start shaking again. Well, what is this? He said, go home. So I told Joe, I got to go. And I went home, sat in the bed, drove home talking in tongues and talking to him. Then he said, go to the hospital. Left the house, went to the hospital. I'm close to panic now. See? This is 84. I ain't been preaching for 9 years. So I'm going down and getting to the First Baptist Hospital. That's me, riding fast, And when I get there, I go inside, and then they're taking blood, and they're taking this, and they're taking vitals, and we're going behind the desk. And the nurse, she looked at me like this, baby. And and do you meditate? The word? Yeah, I meditate. About to get on my last nerve. Tell me, do I do that? Yeah, I do that, but find out what's going on now. So finally, the doctor comes out and he goes, Mr. Camp? I said, yeah. He said, what kind of exercise you do? Yeah, time exercise. Working 13-hour days, remodeling a house and building a new house. Ain't got time to exercise. He said, you are as healthy as a horse. You're just tired. Make time. That's how he said it. When he said that, the Holy Ghost reminded me, Mama said, went to the doctor and was tired, and I didn't know anybody that healthy as I was could feel so bad. And then remember, to her credit back then, she was going, go play basketball, Walt. I ain't got time to play basketball. I gotta work. And so I kept working. And God said, I want you for your mama and your wife, but you too busy working. But this is the second time now. So the same way he did me then, he said, go to the hospital. I've gone to the hospital, and what they found and said was the same thing they found and said this time. Because I couldn't have known the information in my body like I needed to, except the doctors who had wisdom from God check my blood and say, we see a whole lot of information. But I got on the computers, I told you all, found out what causes it, changed my diet, found out what supplements, in particular curcumin, rids it the fastest way, and did that beginning June of this year. And when I went back to the hospital in August, he said, your blood is perfectly normal. Your white blood cell count is normal. Your inflammation level is down. You ain't got to see me no more. Bye. I say bye, and I left the place. But that was the benefit of going to the hospital, you see, was to find out what was going on, which is why it's good to take a physical about once a year or every year and a half. Doctor, you need to come back and see me every year. I can do that, no problem. I'm still trusting God to keep me healthy, But at that time, I didn't know what to eat and what not to eat. And I was eating stuff I shouldn't eat out of moderation. In particular, grains and, grains? Because I wasn't eating them shit. It was grains. And the minute said my back was burning because of the inflammation. Like I was on fire. I thought it was the bed. It wasn't the bed, it was me. Inflammation. Got to get a soft mattress. No, it wasn't the mattress, it was me on fire. And once I quit eating all that grain, the fire got less and less. The patience though, but I made it. But I made it because of my trust in God. But what God wanted you to see was that He wouldn't let me go on but a few more days like I was. And even if I hadn't been sick, I ain't got time to turn to it now because my time's shot. But if I hadn't been sick, He still wouldn't let me come home. He told me how I was sick, and why I was sick, and got me away. And let me know, as he told me way back in the 70s, you can't come home yet, you got work to do. And I wasn't sick then, I just found I could go home. I just found out I could go home, and I got happy about it. He said, you can't come home yet. So find people in whom I live, fellowship with them, and make the best of it. I got depressed. I wanted to go. But then I did what he said do, because I want to please him. See, now with Hezekiah, in 2 Kings 20, verse 1 through about verse 11, Hezekiah, 2 Kings 20, the prophet was sent to him because he thought his sickness, he would get past it. He didn't know he was going to die. And so he said, tell it. And so he said, thus said the Lord, set your house in order, for the sickness you have is unto death. You're going to die. You're going to die. Set your house in order. And so Hezekiah turned his head to the wall. Remember, Lord, how I walked in righteousness before you. I did right. I did this. I did that. I obeyed you. And he said, well. And before the prophet could get completely out of the court, he said, go back and tell him, I'm going to heal him and give him 15 more years. Plus, he goes on to say, and the sign going to be, well, the one version, 2 Kings 20 talks about what sign is turned to it. I ain't going to talk clear. You know, I'll be wrapping it up. But I want her to come back and share this that we're going to go. But I want you to see this. God was so determined for Hezekiah to know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he would heal him. He asked him, what sign shall I work for you to know? And we'll see what he says here. 2 Kings 20. Now I want to move down to where he asks about the signs. He mentions the signs. Verse 8. Go with me. And Hezekiah said to Isaiah, what should be the sign that the Lord will heal me, that I shall go up into the house of the Lord the third day? And Isaiah said, this sign shalt thou have of the Lord, that the Lord will do the thing that he has spoken. He has spoken. See, he watches over his word to perform it. So that goes back to Mark 16, where he says, they were able to preach the word, the Lord working with them, confirming the word with signs following. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees? And Hezekiah answered it, it's a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees for the sun going down. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. In other words, boy, I tell you, something's backing up. Is the earth reversing this? Yeah, thank you. The earth is reversing its rotation for 10 degrees. Didn't just stop, it backed up for 10 degrees. And Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord. He brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which he had gone down in the valley of Ahaz. That was to show, let him know the surety, I'm going to heal you. And the scientists today, I found out, I read a book called Return from Tomorrow, I think, where this guy died. And it might have been another book I read called How to Live Like a King's Kid. But in one of those two books, he talked about the fact that he must have returned from tomorrow. How to Live Like a King's Kid. How to Live Like a King's Kid. I believe he was in aerospace. And they were doing the calculations for the rockets to go in the orbit and so forth. We got to calculate the rotation of the Earth and everything and so forth. And he said the computer kept coming up with about 10 degrees that was unaccounted for in the calculations. And then he remembered as a Christian what the Word of God said, it would back up 10 degrees. And that satisfied what was lacking the computer saw in regard to time. God confirmed it through science. Blew me away. But it actually happened. Because God wanted this man to understand. See, that's what God wants you all to know. To understand him and know, if I said it, I'll perform it. And even in my case, my faith was I could go home. God said, you're not believing. You're not having faith in me. Jesus said, have faith in God. That means if I'm believing something God didn't say, that ain't faith. I can call it faith. I am believing, but not believing in God. See, that's why God had me change it a few months ago, where I was more concerned about saying, have faith in God. Believe God. Because if we just say faith, that's not hitting my understanding as it should. But if God said it, and I believe it, now it's settled. But if God didn't say it, and I still believe it, ain't nothing going to happen. Now, on this point, let's say it this way. If I'm believing I'm going to die, like Auntie, who really wanted to die and refused to eat, wouldn't obey God, wouldn't obey us to try to feed her, because she was bound and determined she's going to die. And she got exactly what she believed for. But see, my heart If your heart is to please God, everybody say please God.
Please God.
Please God, if I miss it, the Holy Ghost will correct me. Hello, somebody. He'll correct me.
Yes.
I have missed it a few times. You see, where on one occasion I prayed, Lord, raining, water coming in my house. And I said, Lord, stop the rain. And I looked and expected for it to stop raining. It stopped raining. Then I got to understand the change of prayer. And so I said, Lord, stop it from raining in my house. It stopped getting ended. See, I got my request in line with what he provided in the covenant. That was something. Then I got what was in the covenant. See, so even though I believe that I was ready to go, and really I was in my mind, but if he just said, no, you can't come home yet, I adjusted that thing. Just like I had before. Because not my will, Lord. That'll be done. That will be done, you see. You see. And I'm going to make this last point. The point is that, physically. Somebody say physically. Physically. To look at me, you say he's sick. Lost the weight. Out of it because of the sleep deprivation. Not talking clearly because of the sleep deprivation. All those are signs that will tell the normal, average person that's looking at me and judging me apart from taking blood tests. That's why they take blood tests. They take blood and analyze it. Because all the signs you see would say, I'm sick. I thought I was sick. I felt sick. But I was actually healthy. The blood confirmed that. And everything else, all the other tests confirmed it. They were in all kinds of tests. Took nuclear tests, looking for the cancer, because he thought I had cancer, lupus or whatever. He had all kinds of things that I had. He thought the same, Ken's daughter, niece, she has the same thing I had back in January. Same symptoms. Got the same diagnosis. You got lupus. And so I told Ken, is she sleep deprived? I said, how much sleep she getting? Guess what? Sister girl ain't getting it. She's in the military, she's a master sergeant, and she's pushing herself so hard to excel, especially as a woman. And so she ain't getting sleep. So I emailed her the doctor with sleep deprivation. And she's coming this week to get blood tests at the VA, I'm thinking, because she's a veteran. But to give her peace of mind about them saying, you maybe you got lupus, maybe you got this, then God had Ken tell me and then had me send that to her so she could read it to see. I had the same symptoms in January, but it wasn't what they thought because they didn't know. How they don't know? It's amazing that they study everything about the body except sleep. The body needs sleep. Sleep deprivation is a monster. It'll run up the white blood cell count in your body because the body reacts as if it's sick when you get sleep deprived. So the body kicks in with all these white blood cells to fight the sickness. There ain't no sickness, it's sleep deprivation. Now, if it goes on, it can turn into something. And that's why God did what he did and would have not let me go through more days like that, you see. But the point about it is, I said this, there are people like me at that time that looked sick, actually as well. On the other hand, there are people that look as healthy as anybody in here, and actually they're sick. And when the doctor examines, he finds out. That's what happens. That's fine.
Again, the other thing that I looked at was how Walter, knowing Walter, and how he tried to help. Anybody here is sick. If they'll let him, he'll start giving them information. And that's what I was looking at about himself. I said, he's just not a quitter. He don't just give up. He don't just. So I looked at it that way. So.
But lack of knowledge, people perish, and so that's what it boils down to. But knowing God And know now he dealt in the past, which goes back to something Ken Wells talks about. Look at what God's done in the past. With the way God has dealt with me in the past, the way he's overseeing me. That's the word I want to get to in regard to his position. He oversees us. Oversees us. He provided for the birds, he's going to provide for us. And he's going to exercise righteousness, justice, and loving kindness in the earth. And so, knowing that, as we meditate the scriptures and what he's done in other people's lives, we get to understand it.
Yes.
And have the confidence she had, where even though she saw what she saw, physically, spiritually, she was looking at something else. She should have never told me until last week. You see. Then I found out that she knew more than what she knew. And then she could be which is why she could be what she was. And so, our hope is an anchor to the soul. Our faith in God is involved in that. So, anyhow, let's all stay in. We're gonna do this things. But know that even though some things look the way they are, not necessarily, and know what God will do also. And that's the main thing. Know what he will do and will not do. Let me say this too, real quick. Like Dr. Hagen used that same reasoning. Since God had not shown him anything, he knew everything was all right. And sure enough, it was all right. And it came out to be that. And so with all these prophets and prophecies, God didn't show nobody that what I was thinking was going to happen, or he didn't show anybody really to tell him he will. Because he wanted to do it the way he did it. He could have shown Ken Wayne or little Dave or whomever. But he didn't. He chose not to. Why? He was doing something, first off, to see me, if I would reason why justice in the earth and the right in the earth. The things you do are right. So knowing you're right and knowing you exercise loving kindness, then you know those of us that have a heart,